I just love the smell of fear. What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes? Pick it up. Pick it up.
The fear of death and the search for meaning. For most of his 9 lives, Puss in Boots has lived recklessly, not because he's brave, but because he believed he was untouchable. His swashbuckling persona thrives on danger and applause. He leaps into battle without hesitation and mocks the idea of consequences. But all of that changes when he's faced with the reality of having only one life left. This film makes the abstract concept of morality terrifyingly real. The moment the doctor tells Puss he's down to his last life, we see panic flash across his face. It's not cartoonish fear, it's existential dread. For the first time, Puss realizes that death isn't just a distant idea, it's close, it's personal, and it's inevitable. That fear takes form in the wolf, death itself, a relentless figure who doesn't chase Puss out of malice, but out of inevitability. Death isn't a traditional villain. He's a force, a presence, a reminder his appearance isn't about punishment, it's about reckoning. And the more Puss tries to run, the more he must confront what he's been avoiding his entire life. This storyline mirrors a midlife crisis or existential panic many experience when they, confront their own limitations. It's bold narrative for children's films, yes I know. A fearless examination of what happens when our sense of invincibility vanishes. For Puss, this is the beginning of transformation, the beginning of meaning, because only when we truly understand the value of our time do we start to live with intention. What makes a life worth living? If you had only one life left, what would you do with it? That's the philosophy and the heart of the film. When Puss loses his last life, he also loses the foundation of his identity, the legend of the fearless outlaw. But this loss creates a space for something more meaningful. The story forces him to answer a fundamental question. What does it mean to live? At first, Puss is paralyzed. He hides in fear. He gives up the sword, the hat, the boots. He trades adventure for obscurity. But this retreat doesn't bring peace, only emptiness. He hasn't found meaning, he's just delayed the inevitable. The answer begins to emerge through his unlikely relationship with Perito. Unlike Puss, Perito has no frame, no legend, no superpowers, just boundless optimism and joy in the little things. He represents a different kind of strength, the ability to live fully without being extraordinary. Perito reminds Puss that life isn't measured by stories or songs, it's measured by connection, by laughter, by companionship. These aren't epic moments, but they are the ones that make life worth living. As Puss reclaims his identity, he does so with new perspective. He doesn't want his lives back. He wants to live the one life he has with purpose. That shift from living for legend to living to love is what makes his arc so powerful. The burden of legacy and ego. Puss has always been larger than life. His ego, his confidence, his persona, they're his armor. They protect him from doubt, from fear, from vulnerability. But in the last wish, that armor begins to crack. Without his extra lives, Puss is forced to ask, who am I without the legend? Is the name Puss in Boots enough if no one's watching? This crisis of identity reveals just how much of one's self-worth is built on external validation. The film shows how ego can become a prison. Puss clings to his heroic image, even if it isolates him. He pushes Kitty away, he refuses help, he hides his weaknesses, but none of this brings him peace. His ego may have made him a legend, but it also made him lonely. The reason transformation comes is when Puss sheds that ego. He admits fear, he apologizes, he opens up. It's the only then he begins to heal. He becomes a fuller character, not just a fearless hero, but a vulnerable, compassionate being. The message here is profound. Legacy means nothing if it costs you humanity. Ego may protect you from judgment, but it also keeps you from love. The fear beneath the fur. One of the most remarkable scenes in the film is also one of the quietest, Puss's panic attack. This moment breaks from the usual animated hero formula. We see a character who's always been bold and confident suddenly overwhelmed by fear. His breath shortens, the world closes in, he collapses. It's not played for comedy, it's not exaggerated, it's painfully real. This is groundbreaking for a male protagonist, especially one styled after swashbuckling icons like Zorro, Ariella, or Flynn. These characters are supposed to be invincible, unflinching, emotionless, but here, the film dares to show that even the strongest can break down. Perito's response makes the moment even more powerful.
What? 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 Puss, what's wrong?
He doesn't dismiss Puss's fears, he doesn't tell him to man up. The scene opens a vital conversation about emotional health, particularly among male audiences. It challenges traditional masculinity by saying vulnerability isn't weakness, it's part of being human. And when Puss's standards back up, he's not weaker, he's stronger. But because now he's grounded in truth. Wishing versus accepting life. The wishing star becomes the film's central metaphor for desire, for what we think we lack. Every character wants something. Puss wants his lives, Goldilocks wants a real family, Jack Horner wants everything. But those desires reveal deeper insecurities. Puss believes he needs more lives to be whole, Goldilocks believes her surrogate family isn't enough, Jack Horner is a void of greed, constantly consuming, never satisfied. As the story unfolds, we see their wishes are misguided. Goldilocks already has a real family in the bears. Messy, flawed, but real. Puss doesn't need more lives, he needs to be the one who values his. And Jack Horner, his wish is cautionary tale. The cost of endless desire is isolation and destruction. This arc critiques our culture of perfection and control. We're told we can fix everything, optimism, everything, upgrade everything, but the truth is fulfillment often comes from not getting more, but from appreciating what we already have. The role of found family. Family is a central part of The Last Wish, not just as a theme, but as a moral compass. Goldilocks and the bears aren't related by blood, but they love each other fiercely. They fight, they joke, they risk everything for one another. Their bond is real, not because of biology, but because of choice. Puss and Kitty and Perito go on similar journeys. They start as individuals with baggage and mistrust, but through shared trials, they become something closer. They learn to rely on each other, to forgive, to accept. Found family isn't a new concept, but this film elevates it with emotional depth. It shows that family is not about genetics, it's about presence, about showing up, about staying even when it's hard. In the end, Puss doesn't ride off alone in the sunset. He rides off with people who know the real him, not the legend, and that's more than heroic than any sword fight. Death as a character, not evil, just inevitable. The wolf is more than a villain, he's an idea, a shadow, a whisper in the dark. He doesn't gloat or monologue. He speaks plainly, calmly, truthfully. He is death, and he's tired of being disrespected. His role in the film is genius because he's not cruel, he's not evil, he's fair. He comes for Puss not because he hates him, but because Puss has taken life for granted, and he wants Puss to understand the value of what he's lost. Their final confrontation isn't about violence, it's about acknowledgement. Puss doesn't defeat death, he earns his respect by facing him, by valuing his life, by being brave enough to live, even knowing it will end. Death doesn't back down, not because he's been beaten, but because Puss has changed, and that's all death ever wanted. The ethics of desire and the perfect life. In chasing the wishing star, every character is chasing an idea of perfection. The perfect family, the perfect life, the perfect legacy, but perfection is a lie. Puss learns that he doesn't need more lives to matter. Goldilocks sees that her imperfect, ragtag family is already enough. Kitty Softpaw realizes that vulnerability, not self-sufficiency, builds trust. Even Perito, the film's most optimistic character, shows that happiness isn't the abstinence of pain, but the choice to find joy despite it. The film suggests that real peace doesn't come from control or fantasy, it comes from acceptance, that life, with all its flaws and fears, it's beautiful because it ends. The perfect life is the one we build, not the one we wish for. I'm going to conclude this video by talking about one more thing: living the one life that matters. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is more than just an animated adventure, it's a philosophy, it's a journey. It takes a fearless legend and strips him bare, showing us that true strength lies in vulnerability, not bravado. It confronts death, desire, ego and fear, and still finds space for hope, love and laughter. Puss doesn't get 9 lives back. He doesn't ride off alone, he rides off changed, grounded, grateful, and surrounded by those who see him for who he truly is. And maybe that's the last real wish. Not more time, but a reason to make every moment count. Alright, well, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. I really appreciate you for clicking on the video. Thank you. I'm trying to upload more consistently, as you can see. This video was great to make. This was really great to make. Thank you. Took a lot of effort, took a lot of time, research and stuff like that. But thank you guys for tuning in for today's video. I appreciate you guys so much. Please, please, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Bad or good, let me know what you think. I'm really enjoying making these video essays because they're really interesting to make, delving deep into like the psychology and the aspects of people's lives and personality and why the way they are. It's really interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me on today's video. Thank you for being here and viewing this whole video. If you didn't, that's fine. If you did, well, thank you so much. You deserve a cookie. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. God bless. Amen.
Je crois qu'après avoir vu ça, on peut mourir tranquille.